Action-adventure games blend intense combat, immersive storytelling, and thrilling exploration. Whether you're web-slinging through New York, surviving a zombie outbreak, or facing down powerful enemies, these games deliver unforgettable experiences that keep you on the edge of your seat. Here are 10 of the best action-adventure games/series you must play. Let's jump in. Let's kick off things with a game inspired by Nier Automata, and one of my favourite titles of 2024, Stellar Blade. My first impression was that it looked a little generic, but I've never been happier to be proven wrong. It's an incredible experience. You play as Eve, a member of a special forces unit sent to reclaim Earth from a mysterious alien threat. The combat is fast, fluid, and deeply satisfying, combining slick hack-and-slash mechanics with perfect dodges and timed counters to take down enemies in style. The post-apocalyptic world is visually stunning with great environmental variety, but it's the soundtrack that really stands out. While Eve's over-sexualized design can sometimes distract from the otherwise compelling story, taken as a whole, Stellar Blade is a thrilling and unforgettable action-adventure game you absolutely shouldn't miss. Next, we jump from one post-apocalyptic world to another, but this time the threat is an alien. The Last of Us series is an emotional rollercoaster, blending tense survival gameplay with masterful storytelling. The first game follows Joel, a broken man who lost his daughter, and Ellie, the only person immune to the cordyceps infection. As they navigate a brutal world filled with danger and heartbreak, the two form a close, unforgettable bond. The remake brings the original up to modern standards with overhauled visuals and smarter AI. Part 2 is a lot more diverse, but it's a bold, well-told story that's not afraid to take risks. It's more complex and darker. The gameplay is fantastic across both games, but it's the emotional weight behind every encounter that hits hardest and stays with you long after the credits roll. While many prefer the first entry, both are truly impeccable and easy to recommend, especially now that they are sold together as a complete package. For entry number 3, we are switching gears to something a little more lighthearted, a co-op only adventure called Split Fiction by Hazelight. Much like their previous titles, this game is built entirely around two-player storytelling, offering each player their own unique perspective. The game follows two video game writers, Mio and Zoe, who find themselves trapped inside a simulation of their own stories after a publishing deal goes wrong. As they journey through a mix of sci-fi and fantasy worlds, they must work together to escape the simulation and confront the corporation attempting to steal their ideas. Whether you are solving puzzles, engaging in action sequences, or platforming, Split Fiction constantly encourages communication and teamwork. It's an extremely creative and funny experience with a playful tone that makes it perfect for playing with a friend, family member, or partner. Next, we are shifting gears to the polar opposite, a single-player game designed to be nail-bitingly difficult. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is developed by From Software, the same creators behind Dark Souls and Elden Ring. While it shares some similarities with those titles, Sekiro stands apart by fully embracing the action-adventure genre. You play as Wolf, a shinobi on a quest for vengeance in a brutal, war-torn version of feudal Japan. The combat is fast, precise, and unforgiving, with an emphasis on parrying and countering to land deadly blows. Unlike other FromSoft games, Sekiro has minimal RPG elements, instead focusing on skillful, tactical combat that rewards mastering its mechanics. As with any FromSoft game, it's not for the faint of heart. Many of the bosses provide some of the toughest challenges in gaming, but the payoff is absolutely worth it, as the combat feels like you're in the middle of an intense cinematic battle. Moving on to a more somber, slow-paced title, we have the incredible remake of the 2005 classic Shadow of the Colossus. You play as Wonder, a young man who travels to a forbidden land, hoping to bring a girl back to life. Unlike most action-adventure games, there are no typical enemies to fight, not even a single town or quest. Your one singular goal: defeat 16 towering colossi scattered across a hauntingly melancholic landscape. Each one is a unique puzzle, requiring you to scale their massive forms and land to the final blow. The atmosphere is unmatched, and the story, though simple, is more complex than it seems. Bluepoint did an incredible job with the remake, It's a testament to how timeless the original is and how talented they are as developers. From the silent ruins of the Forbidden Lands to the bustling streets of New York City, we have Spider-Man. Insomniac's Spider-Man games are arguably the best superhero games ever made, perfectly capturing the thrill of being Spidey with fluid traversal and acrobatic combat. The first game follows a seasoned Peter Parker balancing personal life with crime fighting, taking on iconic villains like Doc Ock and the Sinister Six. A shorter follow-up, Miles Morales, introduces the second Spider-Man, and the sequel lets you play as both Peter and Miles, each with distinct powers and fighting styles. The story is a bit less polished than the first, but Kraven and Venom are fantastic, even if a little rushed in the latter. Ultimately, all the games in this series are polished, with a great recreation of New York and excellent takes on classic Spider-Man characters and villains. Next up, we're looking at a character who isn't a superhero like Spider-Man, but definitely has the powers of one. Control is a game by Remedy, the studio behind the recent Alan Wake 2. You play as Jessie Faden, a woman searching for her brother, who unexpectedly becomes director of the mysterious Federal Bureau of Control. The game takes place inside the oldest house, a shifting building filled with paranormal threats. Jessie gains telekinetic powers, allowing her to pull in and hurl objects, not to mention levitate. She also wields a service weapon, a gun that can morph into different weapon types. Control features fantastic environmental destruction, a combat system that keeps you moving, and an interesting premise that ties in with the wider universe of Remedy's other games. You can't make a list about action-adventure games without mentioning Uncharted. The Legacy of Thieves collection brings together two of the best entries in the franchise, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End and The Lost Legacy, both remastered for PS5 and PC. Uncharted 4 follows the final adventure of Nathan Drake, and despite releasing almost a decade ago, it still looks absolutely jaw-dropping. Meanwhile, The Lost Legacy shifts the spotlight to Chloe Fraser and Nadine Ross, offering a shorter story that builds on the more open-ended level design introduced in Uncharted 4. Gameplay mixes third-person cover shooting, puzzle solving, and cinematic moments. While I'd recommend playing the first three games if you are new to the series, both titles work well as self-contained stories too. If you are a returning fan, the collection is a massive upgrade over the originals, featuring 3 modes, including a 4K fidelity mode and a 120 FPS performance mode. Now for two games that redefined what an open world game is, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Nintendo took a big risk of reinventing the Zelda formula, and thankfully, it paid off. Breath of the Wild focuses on survival, creativity, and exploration, dropping you into a vast world with no hand-holding and letting you discover everything at your own pace. It's a true playground of possibilities where every mountain can be climbed and every solution can be improvised. Tears of the Kingdom builds on that, introducing the Ultra Hand to craft vehicles, weapons, and more. Both games are packed with puzzles to solve, gear to find, and secrets to uncover, offering a complete sense of freedom that few other games have ever matched. To wrap up the list, we've got another series that made a massive shift, God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok. The franchise completely reinvented itself, moving from Greek mythology to Norse mythology with a more grounded, over-the-shoulder perspective. This new era gives us a more mature, self-reflective Kratos and places us in the role of a father, guiding his son Atreus. The brutal combat is still present, but it's slower, heavier, and more tactical, blending seamlessly with exploration and puzzle solving. Ragnarok builds on the reboot, offering more enemy variety, a higher stakes story, and larger set pieces. While the story is a little less coherent, it brings Kratos' Norse journey to a satisfying conclusion. Both games are essential for anyone who loves action-adventure games. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for a notification each time I upload new content. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you in the next video.